by Nicky Walker because he has already signed for a championship fight with James Toney. He's all business tonight.
WBA middleweight champ Mike McCallum is Mr. Consistency. He can survive tough times, like here against Donald Curry, and then deliver when he needs to. This dramatic knockout was a high point for Mike. This allowed him to keep his junior middleweight crown, and later he would move up to get the middleweight title bout. In his last outing, we saw him take apart Carlos Cruz over 10 rounds. The effort was meticulous and even, vintage McCallum. He'll need that same focus tonight, because the man he is facing is former super middleweight contender Nicky Walker. He's tough and highly motivated. Nicky is a rough and tumble fighter who can bang to the body and fight well inside. He did it even here in losing to Frankie Minton. Despite some tough losses, he rebounded against Sonny Brennan in his last outing and showed us the form of the Walker of old. Tonight, he says this is the big chance he's waited for, and he'll make the most of it.
And so, Al, the keys to victory in this one.
Well, for McCallum, when I say first things first, don't take your mind off Nicky Walker, but McCallum usually doesn't. Avoid the clash. No, I don't mean the Rock group, the Clash. You can go see them if you want. I mean, don't have a clash of heads. These fighters both fight on the inside. For Walker, punch, punch, punch. Got to just keep punching, throw consistently, and body snatch McCallum. That's McCallum's nickname, but I'll tell you what, Walker needs to throw to the body himself.
All right, let's meet these two now. We come to the main event, and here is Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank Incorporated and the undisputed king of beer, Budweiser, present the featured bout of the evening. This bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Chairman Luther Mack, Commissioners Dr. James Nave, Bruce Lane, Dr. Elias Ghanem, and Nat Carasali, Executive Director Chuck Minker. Physicians in attendance, Dr. Flip Pomansky and Dr. Al Capana. The three judges scoring this bout tonight are Dave Moretti, Dalby Shirley, and Paul Smith. Timekeepers, Al Bisick and James Cavan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Bally's Casino Resort here in Las Vegas, Nevada, let's get ready to rumble! 10 rounds of boxing in the middleweight division. The referee for this contest is Toby Gibson. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with blue letters. He weighs an even 166 pounds, from Carson City, Nevada. One of Nevada's most popular fighters with 40 victories, 22 KOs, 9 defeats, and 2 draws. Let's welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Nicky Shulo Walker. And his opponent across the ring in the blue corner, wearing black trunks with white letters, weighing an even 167 pounds. Fighting out of New York City, this two-time world champion has a professional record of 41 victories, 33 KOs, only 1 defeat. He currently holds the WBA title in the middleweight division, title not on the line tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike, the Body Snatcher, McCallum.
Okay, gentlemen, I've given you both your instructions in your respective dressing rooms. Seconds, if the mouthpiece come out, I'm going to try to throw it as close to your corner as I can to have it washed up. Give me a clean fight inside. Give me a clean break when I ask for one. Good luck to both of you.
So there's a look at Nicky Walker, an experienced fighter to be sure, 51 fights. And he says he is here to win it, not just to be an opponent. In the other corner, Mike McCallum. Mike says, I'm in better shape this time than I was in my last fight with Carlos Cruz. I'm ready to go.
And I'll tell you what, this may be apropos of nothing. You won't find two nicer, more intelligent athletes on the face of the earth than these two guys. Absolutely true.
I've said it about boxers in general, and these two are cut above that.
Very articulate, nice guys, good at defining what their sport is all about.
Knockout ratio, as you can see, knockout percentage, I should say. Walker 43%. McCallum gets people out of there and can get you out with 1 punch. You need only ask Donald Curry.
That, the most dramatic knockout of his career, McCallum's career. Nicky Walker knows he's going to be very busy in this bout. Before we went on the air, I happened to bump into Ted Walker. I was walking around the arena here, his trainer, and he said, my guy has got to be busy. He just has to keep punching.
And that's what he said. It's a double-edged sword, though. He has to keep busy, but he can't be careless.
And probably the posture Nicky Walker will need is to be on the inside with McCallum. Not that Mike is easy to deal with on the inside, but will be his best bet, I would think. If I had to make an analogy between McCallum and a basketball player, I would make it between he and Chet Walker. Totally consistent. Sometimes you don't think they're spectacular, but when you're done, boy, they've gotten the job done.
Yeah, workman-like, and you don't see him make a basket, and you look in the paper and he had 35.
Yeah, exactly.
He is a guy who has not gotten his just due from the sport of boxing. He's been around for a long time. He has only one loss, and that was certainly a forgivable loss.
Sambu Kalambe, who was a master boxer and has had his moments. And the guys he's beaten, he beat David Braxton as a junior middleweight. He beat the Sean Manions. He beat Julian Jackson, knocked him out. Milton McCrory, Donald Curry, beat Kalambe again, beat Steve Collins, beat Michael Watson. Yeah, I mean, these are all good guys.
Yeah, and Julian Jackson, how many losses has he had?
That's it.
One to Mike McCallum, and people are saying Julian Jackson may be pound for pound the best fighter in the game.
And one of the most powerful. Jackson would probably love to get a rematch with McCallum to unify that title. Mike McCallum has to like this first round. He's kept Walker at bay with the jab and has been able to work the body, and Nicky has not been able to get inside where he could throw combinations to the body and the head.
A strong jab by McCallum.
It's a good jab by Walker. Walker has a better jab than some people give him credit for, and sometimes he doesn't use it enough. He could jab his way in against McCallum.
McCallum right now said he's about 166, but no problem getting to the 160, the middleweight limit. Interesting first round, feeling out round in large part for both men, but a good one from McCallum.
Here's Nicky Walker trying to land the right hand, but instead it's McCallum shooting the jabs out. And McCallum landed 21 jabs in the last round, only 5 landed by Walker. Well, Walker threw more.
Really says something about McCallum that he fights, as you look at the first round numbers, clearly in the corner of McCallum, but that he fights a guy who is a quality fighter. Nicky Walker is not chopped liver.
No, and he just nailed Walker with a good left hook, and he hurt Walker with that punch. Walker once fought for the super middleweight championship, and he really was in that bout. Went 15 rounds with Graciano Raccagiani. That was in Berlin. Lost in 15, and he accepts that he lost it, but he said, I only lost by a couple of points, and in fact, it was a good effort on his part. And that very next fight, let me tell you something. Very next fight after that, we had him here on Top Rank Boxing against Jorge Amparo in August of 1988. Barry, he completely dominated that bout against Amparo, who was then a pretty good middleweight. They had a clash of heads. It was a cut, but they didn't rule it a clash of heads, and Walker ended up losing the fight on a cut. A very bad decision, and since then his career has been stumbling because of it.
Yeah, it really has. He lost a couple of fights shortly thereafter. Lost to people that are not exactly household names. Sugar Boy Malinga. He did lose to Frankie Minton, who is a known fighter. Was knocked out by Paul Whitaker.
A fight he should not have lost.
Knocked out by Nelson Alex Alves in Dusseldorf, Germany, and that was the one that perhaps hurt him more than any other.
That win over Brennan gave him a new lease on life, but right now McCallum trying to take it away.
Good clean combinations by McCallum to the left hand from Walker, but McCallum clearly getting the better of this. He might have hurt Walker again.
This is the difference between a champion and a good fighter. See, now there's Walker missing with all those combinations. Nicky pushes a lot of his punches. But when he's on the inside, he can have his moments with anybody. But McCallum's not allowing that. McCallum is 34, and I guess that's old by boxing standards, but or used to be anyway. But now it isn't so old, and he takes care of himself very well. And we asked him today. We talked to him about, are you thinking at all of retiring at any point? And he said, no, I really enjoy it. He wants to go on after he unifies the title. He says to maybe fight Tommy Hearns.
That'd be a very attractive fight. Take you into the corner right now of Mike McCallum, and there's a guy in the corner who knows from whence he speaks. Eddie Futch.
All right. Keep working behind the stick. Now he's throwing those long right hands and you're making a miss. He's throwing the long jab and dropping his left hand. I want you to come with a quick short right hand. Whenever he drops that left hand like that.
Another reminder, football coming your way.
And that's a good one, Mike McCallum.
In the second round, McCallum threw 102 punches and landed 60. Impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good. You're up towards 60%. You are doing extremely well.
McCallum told us he wants the rounds. He wants to stay busy. Feels he can learn more being in an actual fight than being in the gym. Get himself ready for his title fight. Should things all go the way they're supposed to with James Toney.
And boy, he and Toney, that could be really, really an interesting bout and very action-filled.
Could be. You know, Toney does something that's always disturbed me a little bit, and he's so unorthodox. He comes from side to side. But against a guy like McCallum, I just think, in fact, it's almost exactly what McCallum hit Nicky Walker with in the first round here. Walker was almost turned around, and McCallum really nailed him with the left hand. I just think Toney's style is going to be made to order for McCallum.
Well, that may be true, but what Toney does bring to the dance is youthful exuberance and that unorthodox style, which it's pretty hard to determine how Toney will do against guys because he's so unorthodox. Yes, certainly McCallum will be able to land against him. But I think it could be, however long it lasts, it could be a while.
Well, Toney is a guy, and I say this in his defense after saying that I feel McCallum had the better style than Toney. Tony's a guy who I really do believe has gotten better since he's been champion.
That's true, yeah. Tough fight against, extraordinary fight against Reggie Johnson. Pulled it out. He may be the kind of guy that always pulls things out at the last minute if he does, but it should be a great fight between those two. Right now, McCallum is just having his way with Nicky Walker. And it isn't from lack of trying by Walker. He's throwing punches. He's trying to work his way in. McCallum is just so precise and so accurate with his punches that it's hard for Walker.
Jab really working well tonight for Mike McCallum. Everything working well for Mike McCallum. The right hand came behind a double left. It was a three-punch combination.
The mechanics of McCallum are excellent, of course. Most of his punches are pretty short and compact. He has almost a complete arsenal of punches.
So another textbook round for Mike McCallum, as have the first three have all been exactly that. We'll be back. Round of a 10-round fight. Mike McCallum on the left of your screen, Nicky Walker on the right. McCallum, I don't think you can argue about the fact that he's won the first 3 rounds. Look at the jabs from McCallum. That's terrific.
74% landed in 1 round. 48 jabs. That's in the 3rd round. Those could be numbers through the first 3 rounds.
McCallum is doing everything right. Putting on what has been, as we said, a textbook performance.
Walker, to be effective, needs to jab his way in, which he's trying to do, and then be inside where he can throw a series of combinations, which he does often when he's on the inside in bouts. Just hasn't had a chance to do it in this one. You see Walker going downstairs with the left hook, but unable to land anything after that. Well, the story of this bout as he lands a big right hand is the jab of Mike McCallum. And even seldom been better.
Even that right hand was set up by the jab. And I mean the right hand came right behind the jab. Walker getting there with the left hand.
Nice hook. A very short half hook. As we've seen McCallum take big punches before, Donald Curry nailed him with a huge shot. It buckled him, but he stayed in there. And speaking of taking shots, Livingstone Bramble in the 5th round at Obakar, I have to say, we talked about it on the ringside, I have seldom seen toughness that was exhibited like he was. Obakar is a big puncher, and he hit Bramble with huge shots, and he didn't go anywhere. It's amazing.
Walker says he didn't hurt me.
Well, Nicky is a very tough guy. I mean, he has always shown that in his career. McCallum looking for the uppercut and getting it there. Walker trying to work that body. See, he's committed to doing that.
Going to the end of the 4th round. Now we're going to take into the corner of Nicky Walker. And you will be listening to the voice of Ted Walker.
Who is no relation.
Yeah, you're laying in too quiet here. You got to keep that empty.
Let's hit him.
Check the other one a little bit too over here. Above.
When you're close to him, slip. Left, slip.
Well, Mike McCallum with this left that kind of slapped, but boy, the right hand did it. He came right across with a nice right hand.
A little swelling over that left eye, as you can see. It's a swelling that seems to be getting worse. And with all the jabs that Nicky Walker's been absorbing, that is something that he might want to concern himself with. Well, you said punch, punch, punch. That for Nicky Walker, and I think McCallum might have read your keys.
I just had those keys reversed. That's what it was. That was it. Yeah, he has thrown a lot of punches and landing at a 57% clip is really extraordinary. No matter who you're in against.
What Nicky Walker's complaining about here.
Okay, good. Thanks, Nicky. Give him neutral corner.
And they,
Mike, over here. Glove.
I think the thumb maybe
Split.
came loose or
Yes.
split.
and Nicky Walker saw it or felt it.
They felt it in the eye.
Yeah, you have to change.
So they will change the glove.
Split, Eddie.
Now, it should be the law that they have to keep an extra set of gloves at ringside.
This gives me an opportunity to say, to remind people of a situation we had in Top Rank Boxing in Lake Charles, Louisiana, where Donald Curry, who, of course, Mike McCallum knows, fought Mike Senegal. 3 times during that bout, his glove broke, and they had to run and get an extra right glove. Some suggested there was tampering because Curry was upset. He had an upset stomach that day. But every time he landed the uppercut against Mike Senegal, there was a little break in Senegal's mouthpiece that the Curry people say caused the gloves to break. We had about 20 minutes worth of delays in that bout.
Gives me a chance to tell a story of why there needs to be a extra set of gloves at ringside, which is the Angelo Dundee story.
Yes.
Muhammad Ali's fight in London against Henry Cooper, where Cooper had Ali out. They came back to the corner. Dundee saw a little tear in Ali's glove, stuck his finger in it, tore the glove, and they had to go out to the dressing room to get another set of gloves that gave Ali a chance to recoup, and he wound up knocking Cooper out.
You think Angelo Dundee would really do that?
No, you could not. No one in this sport would do that.
Oh, they might be bending the rules a little. And Angelo would have never loosened those ropes in Zaire, would he?
Oh, certainly not.
He might not have done that. Well, they're pretty Johnny on the spot here with that glove. They were quick. They're getting it on Mike McCallum very quickly, so good evidence of the efficiency here in Nevada. I like Toby Gibson. That was nice. He said, thank you, Nicky, for pointing out the...
It's that kind of sport. Now go out there and punch each other's lights out.
Cordiality above all.
So we are underway again. This is the 5th round of a scheduled 10-rounder with Bally's here in Las Vegas. The Loyal and Obedient Servants, Barry Tompkins and Al Bernstein.
And we're approaching the midway point in the bout in which Nicky Walker desperately needs to find something that will work. He has been outmanned and outgunned by Mike McCallum in every single way. And while that,
huge, big right hand. And he drew Walker in for that right hand. Uppercut again hurts Walker.
Tremendous accuracy by McCallum. Short, compact punches, everything landing just about.
Not wasting anything. It's really clinic so far. Uppercut again, left hand behind it, right hand over the top, right to the body, right to the head, right to the head, left to the head, right to the top of the head, triple right hand.
Walker comes back. What did I say about Livingstone Bramble? What about what Walker is enduring here? Unbelievable.
He is just taking the store here from Mike McCallum. Toby Gibson taking a close look here. Don't think he'll let this go too far.
You can make a case for stopping it pretty soon. Even though Walker is punching back, so you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. Look at Walker, he's still punching. Amazing. Amazing. What do you think Mike McCallum's accuracy percentage will be in this round?
Tremendous.
80% maybe. McCallum is a little tired, and Walker's getting there with some shots.
I was just going to say, he threw that last punch all arm.
My goodness. It's been a long time on this show that we've seen a boxer endure what Walker has endured and stay upright.
And I'll tell you what, McCallum may have worn himself out a little bit. We'll be back. We are back, and this fight is over, folks, and here's the reason why.
Mike McCallum going to town with the uppercuts and the combinations, landing constantly against Nicky Walker. And I mean, he just wailed away with everything. Landed most everything, hurt him badly, ended up cutting Nicky Walker in all this barrage. And I'll tell you what, Walker just staying upright during this barrage was extraordinary.
But back in the corner between rounds, Nicky Walker said to Ted Walker and to Toby Gibson, who was also in the corner, I've had enough. And sometimes discretion is the better part of valor, and I think that was the story right here.
Look at this. Well, I said 80%. He was darn close. 73% for McCallum, landing 93 of 127. And Nicky Walker showed a lot of courage, but as you said, at a certain point, he knew he was outgunned in this match.
Absolutely. Nicky Walker does not have to hang his head walking out of here.
No.
Look at these totals, will you?
61% for the bout.
And almost 100 punches around. That's pretty impressive.
And it wasn't as if Walker didn't throw. He did. He just couldn't land.
Official word now from Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Toby Gibson, acting on the advice of a physician at ringside and the corner of Nicky Walker, has stopped this bout. The official time comes at the end of the 5th round. The winner by TKO victory, the 2-time world champion and current WBA middleweight champion of the world, Mike the Body Snatcher McCallum.
So Mike McCallum, a very impressive winner over a game Nicky Walker, but an overmatched Nicky Walker. We'll be back right after this. Second, while we await our 4-round fighters coming into the ring, but hard to imagine Mike McCallum being any sharper than he was in this fight.
Pretty good performance, I'd say. 73% in the last round landed. Yeah, and you know what? Some people say, well, Nicky Walker was made to order for him, not the greatest defense, etc. But nevertheless, still extraordinary that he was able to land those kind of punches against an opponent who is not a ham and egger. He did fight for the super middleweight championship once, and Mike McCallum extremely accurate with his punches and powerful.
Going to bring Mike McCallum in here almost as we speak and put him on a headset. between us and get a chance to talk with Mike McCallum. And as we said, a very fine performance from him against the guy who really did come to fight, and I think that's really important. Mike, I don't know, we were just saying, I don't know if you could have been any sharper than you were tonight.
Well, I'm still 7 pounds over the middleweight class limit. And as I told you before, we're not looking for no easy fight. And all Mike McCallum's career is in fighting all fighters. I went over into their backyard and fight them. And I'm so happy that Top Rank and Baba Haram get me into the starting mold, because it's like I was from Europe. But nevertheless, everything working well. My punches were working beautiful. A little bit tentative. I wanted the fight to go a little longer, as I told you guys before. And Nicky, he's a great fighter. He didn't come there to give me no win. He tried his endeavor best. And I started using my experience and bring it up, step into the sides. I cut him to the body more than I did earlier rounds, and I think that's what get to Nicky.
Mike, a great win for you. Stay with us. We're going to get this other fight underway here, and then we'll come back and chat a little bit more. All right, let's get to a bonus coverage here. 4-round fight, and here to tell you about it is Michael Buffett.
Ladies and gentlemen, we move to the cruiserweight division. This bout scheduled for 4 rounds. The referee for this contest is Richard Steele. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the green trunks with black trim, weighing an even 192 pounds from Las Vegas, Nevada, undefeated 2-0-1. Let's hear it for Sterling Cash McCallum. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with white trim, weighing an even 186 pounds, originally from Rock Springs, Wyoming, now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, making his professional debut, introducing Cowboy Ruben Trujillo.
All right, let's go, guys. Okay, we spoke to both fighters in the dressing room. I'm cautioning you again, obey my commands at all times. Shake hands, good luck.
So there is a look at Cash McCallum, no relation. And Ruben Trujillo in the other corner in his pro debut, looking for a little help. And we are with Mike McCallum, who scored a most impressive victory over Nicky Walker tonight. There was one round that he landed 48 jabs, not threw 48 jabs, landed 48 jabs. That's a number that even you, who are going to be conservative about your own performance, have to look at and say that's pretty darn good.
Oh yes, the jab was working beautiful. In the gym I was working a lot with the jab based on the fact that he's a comer. And he keep coming, so I figure, well, it's a fudge and I. And tell us, so we're going to go left and right. And of course, Panama Lucia is a great help. He trained me too for this fight. And we're working on lateral movements, stepping to the side, cutting off the ring, and not backing myself in the corners, keeping the center of the ring and utilize the jab. And that was getting to Nicky a little bit. He couldn't understand what was happening with the jab.